welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Thursday, June 26, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, government tables improved offer in talks with joint unions. Retired Deputy Kumpel on 70K contract as CEO aide. And farmers blame contraband as roughly 1 million pounds of potatoes begin spoiling. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Explore the great outdoors with Benny's quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History, choose Contributions, read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
Whether the job is big or small, every super handy dad needs the right tools. And at Brothers Habet and Habet, we have what you need. Enjoy super savings all June, like 15% off all power tools and hand tools, 25% off track car batteries, Eureka Vats, and Pisaforte towels, 25% off Penta Decon and discontinued colors, 30% off Valspar, and 40% off Dutch Boy paints. Plus, we're giving away $200 to 6 lucky super handy dads. Every $50 you spend gets you a chance to win. So this year, give Dad his best gift yet from Brothers Habet and Habet. Come in or reach out today. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance. Racindio, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Belize Diaspora 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. At a meeting that carried on for 4 hours in Belize City today, the government of Belize presented a third counteroffer with enhanced terms to the joint union's negotiating team, JUNT. Rather than the previous 3 years, the 8.5% salary adjustment requested by the unions would be paid in 2 years. The first 4.5% will be paid out on October 1st this year, followed by the second tranche of 4% on October 1, 2026. One increment is to be unfrozen beginning April 1, 2026, and the other one on April 1, 2027. Deputy Prime Minister Cordell Hyde is hopeful that the union members will accept this last proposal. He said the meeting was serious and intense but productive and expressed the hope that after 6 weeks, they are closer to the end. He was asked about the reaction of the union leaders when the proposal was presented.
They've been fair. They were fair. I think we had a great discussion. I don't want to prejudice whatever they have to do in terms of going back to their membership. I always try to avoid that. I always prefer for them to take it back to their membership. But I suffice to say that the government has committed to the 8.5% from the get-go. We're committed to it, absolutely, along with the 2 frozen increments over the next 2 years. So there are other stuff, but ultimately, hopefully, that they are able to get their membership to support, and we reach past this impasse, so to speak.
Has it been tied to anything at all, the pension reform?
Well, our work is not tied in the sense of you have to do this to get this. No, but it's about ensuring that we continue that work. We have 3 joint committees: Cost Savings Committee, Revenue Enhancement Committee, and Pension Reform Committee. And those committees have been working. That work continues. It's about ensuring that they continue that work in earnest and try to expedite that process. We've discussed pension for a long time, for 20 years they've been discussing pension. We spent a lot of time over the last 5 years doing that too, but it's not subjected to that. The offer is 8.5% over 2 years, including 2 frozen increments over 2 years, and for us to continue that work, and because ultimately that has to be mutually agreed. Like the efforts in cost savings, the effort at revenue enhancement, the efforts at pension reform, those are mutually agreed. It's not like a top-down kind of thing. We have joint committees that work in earnest, that it's about making sure that they expedite that work and take it seriously, because we are serious about that.
The DPM was also asked about the political ad attack against PSU President Dean Flowers.
I said to the folks that, a lot has been said on both sides, but we don't support that kind of stuff. We really don't support that kind of stuff. Our engagements are not about that kind of engagement. We are about getting results, about talking constructively, about respecting each other, about being serious about the issues, because the issues our people are grappling in are real. And we don't get into personality stuff. We really can't, because it's, this country is too small, the demands are too great, our time is limited, we're not going to be here forever, and so we have to maximize and get as much done and work as hard as we can for as long as we can. And I think when you get into personality stuff, it takes away from the work that you have to do. And so we really don't support that. We've made that very clear to those members on the other side from the joint unions.
So while you're around the table doing the heavy lifting, the work on the behalf of the GOB, there's not only these other taxes, but there's your colleagues saying, well, we have to raise taxes if the teachers get their increase. This has to make the work that you do much more difficult.
Well, I mean, it's that's our job. It's our job to try to get things done and find a try to reach agreement, and we can't shy away from that. As I said, I wish we were closer. We had reached this point some time ago, but we didn't. Now we're here, and I think we are as close as we can get.
But at the end of the day, this is just a meeting, and the union has to go back to its membership. What are you hoping from that membership?
Man, I'm hoping for good news. I mean, it's been a rough 6 weeks. I don't suffer these things too well, because I thought after our first meeting that we had a framework that could work, but obviously that didn't work. We went back to the table several times, and hopefully this is it, man. I'm praying for the best.
Is the government now pushing beyond the margins of what it can afford?
Man, this is it. We are hopeful that the membership will see that we've acted in good faith, will see that we've delivered on their demands, on their requests, and will see that we are doing our best. And we didn't get here overnight. It took us a while for us to reach this point where we can say, okay, this is what we are going to be able to do, and this is a timeline, and we've spelled out to them very clearly the timeline in terms of how we are going to get those stuff done over the next 2 years.
Flowers and BNTU President Nadia Martin-Kaliz said the proposal was improved, but reminded that it will be the membership who will decide.
It's an improved proposal. And it's a proposal that our membership will be, that we will present to our membership, and we hope that we can break the impasse. We were reminded today with the presence of the Minister of Labour, who came as an observer, that the 21 days expires on Sunday. So between now and Sunday, we need to find a resolution.
You're voting when? The membership?
More than likely, we will be consulting with the BNTU, but we need to move fast in an effort to stave off any strike action for Monday morning.
Saturday's rally will still take place?
That's a matter for the NTUCB, but as an affiliate, definitely the PSU will be there in full force.
They did not budget for it, and so what they're doing is that they presented a plan that they believe that they can afford during this time between this year and next year. And it's up to them to decide if they want to accept that.
Once again, the Prime Minister, like the FinSec, has insinuated that if we don't win, well, the taxpayers don't have to pay. They will, which includes you guys as well, taxes will go up. When you hear these sorts of comments, do you feel like the government is acting in bad faith?
Every time, and I've been around the union for like 30 years, every single time we ask for an adjustment, they threaten us with taxes. So that's a strategy that it's not even here nor there for me. What we do know is that we ask the government side whether or not this will result in new taxes. And one of the things they said to us, that is not a part of their discussion at all. That's the reason why they're offering it to us 4.5 and 4, because they're looking at what they can afford at this time, since they did not budget for it.
The third final increment, frozen under the Barrow administration, will be discussed under their collective bargaining agreement. Martin Calais made the point that their good governance requests will be raised as part of their collective bargaining agreement negotiations. Retired police officer, former Deputy Commissioner Aaron Guzman is being paid on contract to serve as advisor to Home Affairs CEO Sharol Carr Saldivar. His salary is reported to be $70,000 annually, plus a government vehicle. The Minister of Home Affairs, Honorable Kareem Musa, justified the post and said such contracts are common across the public service.
It's not anything new. These government contracts exist in all ministries. Obviously, the CEO comes from an administrative background, not a policing background, and so having the type of advice and counsel from somebody like a senior like Aaron Guzman has been very valuable to the ministry and valuable to the CEO in the conduct of her duties.
Some have said that if the CEO needed advice, the current Compol can be asked for such advice. We note that the Public Service Union President, Dean Flowers, has criticized such hires, calling them double dipping, as the officers would be receiving pension plus a salary. Today, Flowers said it is the first time he is hearing of what he equates to CEO aides.
This is the first time that I'm hearing that a CEO needs an advisor. What's comical about this current situation is that this was one of the very CEOs who would have thrown some comments at me, and CEO shall comment. Here I was giving her credit, and in the words of her minister, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, that she needs an advisor. And I didn't say that. Her minister said that he needed advice, proper advice. And so he had to hire the good brother who is a retiree. It's just another sign that the wage bill, it's just another sign that the wage bill is in such an unaffordable state, as the government would say, because of their own doings. I mean, it's really ridiculous. I can tell you that I intend to do an analysis of the wage bill, especially in light of what has occurred to our BDF soldiers. I maintain that the BDF and the police department are amongst the lowest paid public officers who do some of the hardest work in this country in providing citizen security. I don't care what mistake was made, and I wish they would make a mistake every day with the pay of BDF and police. I honestly do, because they're grossly underpaid. It's a shame what they're doing and what they have done to our police defense soldiers whose salary has now been reduced based on an error. When in the past, when errors were made with highly paid judicial and legal officers, it was never reverted.
Farmers from San Antonio, Cayo are storing close to 1 million pounds of red potatoes, which were grown and harvested from Mennonite farms. The farmers are complaining that they are unable to sell the produce in the market, as residents prefer to purchase the white potatoes, which are grown in Mexico but are brought into Belize as contraband. The farmers complained that the government is not doing enough to prevent contraband. We reached out to the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Jose Mai, for comment on the ongoing situation. Mai said, quote, "These farmers buy from other farmers and store to sell later at a higher price. There is an oversupply, and yes, there is contraband. Contraband compounded with declining quality and a high price is hampering their ability to sell. Contraband potato is easy to spot. It's white potato. We produce the red skin potato, so it's easy to find. Customs, the Ministry of Agriculture, Police, and Baja are all working together to bring down the contraband," end quote. Asked about the political ads targeting Union President Dean Flowers, who accused the Commissioner of Police of weaponizing the department against the unions, Police Minister Karim Musa defended the actions of Dr. Richard Rosado and said Flowers himself was unfair in his comments about Rosado.
Yeah, well, the Belize Police Department and Dr. Rosado are not the ones creating any sort of ads. We are not in any way trying to attack the union. So let us not try to bridge those two or combine those two together. I believe those are political ads. I believe if you look back at the history of how this all started, I believe that Mr. Flowers was personally heavily attacking the Commissioner of Police, calling him a bully, calling him a puppet, quite unreasonably so and unjustifiably so, in my opinion. Dr. Rosado has only been acting in his most professional capacity. I think they handle all of the demonstrations quite professionally. Obviously, the one in Dangriga went on a little longer, went on for almost 2 hours. And of course, the police department have a responsibility to commuters and to citizens. And so that situation got a little tense, obviously. The commissioner was able to sit down with the unions after that, and they were able to make peace. And so the commissioner has always accepted and honored the request of unions when they want to peacefully protest. It's just that there has to be this level of cooperation and understanding, which I think the unions have since demonstrated.
After the break, Smart also suing Home Affairs over surveillance cameras contract. Stay with us.
Good game, bro. Good game. Come back tomorrow, make us school up again. See that 3 pointer that way at the calf, right? Hold on. Boy, you alright?
Something wrong, yeah?
Something have to wrong because you're well distracted.
No, man, at the top by the street light. The one there around my areas, nice and pretty. Watch how this one look dull and orange.
Because this one, the HPS. So if you see any other old fixture, report it to BL, and BL will change it to the bright LED one. Then you see one where you talk about, just like that.
But how you do that?
The thing easy. Make I show you something. All you need for do, that go in your BL app and click the option where say street light fault, enter your location, put in the 7-digit number from the pole, press report, and left the rest to BL.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Have an old fixture? Report it today using our BEL 24/7 app, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History, choose Contributions, read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, And that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I can help right now. When I this daily? For 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit. And you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Forward Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance of Racindio. Destiny Wadney is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall, special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Forward Convention Center. Don't miss it.
Earlier in the week, we told you about the suit that SMART is bringing against the government of Belize for 2 connected contracts for internet to schools awarded to Digi. The contract for 70 beneficiary schools was signed in February of this year. SMART argues that the government has historically given preferential treatment to BTL because of its majority shareholding in the company. In an affidavit, SMART's CEO Ernesto Torres informed the court that they had flagged the contract awards when the project was first launched in July 2022. Torres explained that they held off from suing the government at the time because of the importance of the project and the impact of COVID and on students' education. Apart from that suit the company brought this year, it is also suing the Ministry of Home Affairs for the awards of contracts for surveillance cameras. The minister said he had not yet seen the claim.
I was informed by the AG's ministry yesterday, and so I'm hoping to have a meeting with the Attorney General and the council over at the AG's ministry to go over what the letter, because I don't think it's a claim, I think it's a letter of action. So I want to have a chance to review it with the Attorney General before discussing it.
In the Public Service Union's long list of government's outsourced office rentals attributed to their insufficient office space was rental by the Ministry of Home Affairs for $15,000. The minister was asked to justify that spending. The 13th constitutional amendments to specifically include anti-crime SOEs in the constitutional is expected to be discussed at a public consultation in short order. This week, Minister of Home Affairs Kareem Musa expressed the view that anytime there are constitutional amendments, there will be criticism from different quarters. However, he frowned at the fact that the opposition is criticizing it, saying that the base law comes from a UDP term.
This legislation is in large part, if not wholly, a migration of an existing law. And so if you look to the 1993 passage of legislation in the Crime Control and Criminal Justice Act, it is the exact language that you see in there that is now being migrated into the Constitution. And so this is a law by the United Democratic Party. I don't think that they realize that this is their legislation. And so it is just giving it that extra protection, that extra protective cloak by enshrining it in the Constitution, which would then make it less open to being attacked constitutionally, because it now forms part of the Constitution. States of emergencies are constitutional. They are not by nature unconstitutional. They are provided for in the Constitution. It is the application, or rather misapplication, of the states of emergencies that make them unconstitutional or not. So you have to look at each state of emergency, whether or not the rights of the parties, the rights of the detainees were respected. And so in this case, you have the very same detention of 2020 under the former administration that came under scrutiny. Two different judges came to two different conclusions. That matter obviously will have to be going through the courts up until the CCJ to get a final determination. But in the meantime, government has a responsibility, and so we have to be very decisive. The state of emergency that we have been utilizing since 1981, since our independence, if you look back then, we never had a gang culture in the country. We never had the type of gang violence that we see now. And so the migration of this new legislation from the Crime Control and Criminal Justice Act, if you go back to your records, you will see where special zones were declared in 1994. If I'm not mistaken, the former Prime Minister Dean Barrow was the then Minister of National Security. And that has already taken place in the country. And so because we need to be more decisive when it comes to gang violence in the country, we are now incorporating this special zone legislation that was already in existence and putting it in our Constitution.
In political news, Tracy Panton announced a victory in court today after seeking a clarification on May 22nd of the May 7th decision from High Court Justice Tawanda Hundura that her expulsion and that of several of her colleagues was unlawful. However, at the time, he declined to rule whether they remained members of the party, saying it should be the membership to decide at a national convention, which he understood would take place soon. In a post on Facebook, Panton stated that Hundura, in today's virtual hearing, quote, reaffirmed the legal position that any action taken unlawfully is void and of no legal effect, end quote. They add that this means the senior members of the UDP were never legally expelled and therefore remain full members with all rights and privileges intact. This development helps Panton as she was being treated as expelled and was disallowed from participating in any National Party Council meeting because she was not included as a member of the party's central executive. In fact, she and her other colleagues were being required by the executive of party leader Moses Shine Barrow to apologize before their expulsions could be rescinded. But things are never so straightforward in the current UDP, and moments after Panton's statement, a release from the UDP Secretariat stated that the High Court clarification changes nothing, and a subsequent release asserted that Panton is not a member of the party's central executive. It added that neither the written judgment nor perfected order has been released as yet, and Justice Hundura only, quote, intimated a position that he would adopt, end quote. According to the Secretariat, The judge maintained that Panton's membership is a matter for the UDP to determine. This afternoon, attorney Sheena Pitts, who supports Panton, spoke about the other side's interpretation of what transpired in court.
I cannot take even a sledgehammer to crack the nut of a skull that is hard pressed to understand the judgment. I cannot do that. And I wouldn't invite you to do that either. All that I can do is invite you and the general public to understand what the judgment says and understand what the clarification means. And it is simply this: the expulsion that was attempted and was purported to be done has been deemed unlawful because it was done, a decision taken by the CEC, which isn't the proper body to do so. And the steps to be taken was not done. The body to do so is the Ethics and Integrity Committee, and it didn't do so. And what the judge also said, that the CEC itself is not being the appropriate body, is not an impartial body to consider expulsion of Honorable Panton. I cannot speak to what the organs of the UDP would do or would opt to do hereafter, but what I think I can say that I am aware of, insofar as Mr. Perifit is concerned, is that he is willing and he has no difficulty accepting whatever the ruling would have been from the court today. And irrespective of the ruling, he is at a place where moving the party forward means that there is no further division between one person or the other.
Pitts also noted that action can be pursued against those who were unlawfully expelled. We asked Panton about the way forward with Michael Perifit having been brought back as chairman in an attempt to unify the party.
We have agreed that we should seek in a genuine and honest way to find some consensus on how we move the party forward. There are points, and without discussing the details of any draft agreement we may be discussing, that as far as I'm concerned, we will not agree to anything that seeks to further erode or undermine the constitution of the United Democratic Party. It is what, as I said before, provides a framework for fair play, inclusion, accountability, and transparency between the leadership and the membership of the United Democratic Party. And so we will continue to actively engage in the dialogue that would hopefully help us to get to a point where we can agree on what steps need to be taken so that we can stop the hemorrhaging, start the healing process, and rebuild the United Democratic Party. You know, many people say, and particularly the media, they make fun that there is no opposition. But we have to hold ourselves to account first if we are to hold the government to account. And this is an attempt to hold ourselves to account and to come to the negotiating table with clean hands so we can act in the best interests of the membership of the party, but more importantly, act in the best interests of our country and our country's democracy. The truth of the matter is, the former party leader, Jamal Barrow, did not win his seat. And the constitution of the party is very clear as to who can be members of the executive leadership team of the party. He also sent his resignation, submitted his resignation to the party and published it. He circulated it far and wide with our media partners. He's now seeking to rescind that, to hold on to whatever is left at straws, really, holding on to straws until we get to a national convention. But a reset for the party is absolutely an imperative. The only way we can reset is to have a legal and lawful and constitutionally grounded National Party Council for a date to be set for the National Convention to be held. So a fresh mandate and a new leadership team can be established. And so we can move the party forward.
Panton was represented by King's Counsel Peter Knox and Barrow by Dr. Christopher Malcolm. Apart from Barrow, present for the session was also UDP Vice Chairman Alberto August. After the break, Fisher of the Year is from Riversdale. Stay tuned.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited-time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Earn V-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 home vacation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. Do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance. Racindio, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Powell Convention Center. Don't miss it.
The National Environmental Enforcement Task Force is exploring the feasibility of establishing an environmental court where a dedicated magistrate would be assigned to oversee matters involving the environment and natural resources management. Chief Environmental Officer Anthony Mai explained how this would aid with addressing such offenses.
The Department of Environment has a consultancy right now that is looking at the feasibility of having an environmental court. And this is something similar to like the traffic court or the family court, right? Where you'd have a dedicated magistrate to look at matters related to environmental and natural resources management from all these permitting agencies. So all the offenses that the Fisheries Department takes to the magistrate court, all the offenses that the Department of Environment could take, the Forest Department, the Public Health Department, the Mining Unit, the Ministry of Natural Resources, etc., etc. We want our intention through the consultancy is to see if Belize is ready to have a court dedicated to look at these particular issues. And again, the court doesn't have to operate 5 days a week, but it could say, okay, 3 days a week or 2 days a week, this court will deal with only environmental and natural resources issues and violations. So we have the consultancy going on. It just started, and the consultant will reach out to key stakeholders to get input to see if we're in a position to have this system in place. Obviously, this is being done with the input from the Attorney General's office because they play a key role in looking at this and advising if the country is in a position to have such a court.
The push for electrical vehicles, or EVs, is global and is accelerating at full speed. Some of the most developed countries have set policy targets for EV sales by the end of the decade. Here in Belize, the push has started, but as expected, things are moving slowly. We asked the executive director of the 5 Cs how Belize compares with the rest of the region in the introduction of electric vehicles.
Sustainable transportation is a priority of almost every single CARICOM member state for obvious reasons. The cost of fossil fuels and gasoline and diesel is very expensive. However, in order to have, I think, a robust EV market, there needs to be an ecosystem that supports it. There needs to be adequate number of chargers and fast chargers. You can't sit and wait for your EV to be charged over 45 minutes or an hour. Right? You need the ones that will allow you to get charged in minutes. You also need to have the right fiscal and policy environment that allows people to bring in EVs without getting subjected to the high duty. Right? You also need to ensure that there is a cadre of mechanics and service providers who are going to be able to deal with the issues that will arise. So you need to get maybe your IT vets to now start having practical courses in training a cadre of young professionals to be able to service. When you have that ecosystem, then you'll see that there's a greater penetration of EVs in your market. And we see Barbados, for example, I think the entire public transportation system in Barbados is already EV, right? School buses in some countries are already running on EV. Most of these buses are coming from China. And again, the capacity to be able to maintain them and to service them is lagging behind. And so that's one area that as CARICOM and working with CCRI, I think if we get that right, then by the time the vehicles are starting to come in, that ecosystem would be there to support it.
The annual Fisher of the Year award ceremony was held today in Belize City at the University of the West Indies Global Campus. The event is part of Fisher Folk Month, which is being observed this month. This is the 11th year the award is being given. Communications Coordinator at the Wildlife Conservation Society, WCS, Desiree Arzu, spoke of the criteria that are used to select the winner.
We have a planning committee that gets to work probably around the beginning of March. And the planning committee comes from various organizations, including, of course, WCS, the Belize Fisheries Department, the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, the Caribbean Network of Fisher Organization, and we had this year 2 Fisher Folk Association in the form of Uganda, which is formerly the Hopkins Fishermen Association. They're now the Uganda Fisher Folk Association, and then the Shunush Fishermen Association, and you will know that the Fisher of the Year from 2024 is from Shunush. So we just thought it appropriate that we included them this year to get their perspectives on, because it's the fishers we're planning for. How do we as NGOs or Fisheries Department plan for fishers if we don't involve the fishers?
2 outstanding fishers were honored during the ceremony: Felipe Tun of Shunush Corazal and David Eligio of Dangriga Stan Creek. The Fisher of the Year for 2025 is Hector Martinez Sr. of Riversdale Stan Creek. Martinez was not present as he is preparing for the lobster season. He was nominated by his daughter, Isela Martinez, who spoke more about her father.
It's a proud moment, I must say. As I mentioned before, I've always wanted to fill out this application, but I never had the courage because I was like, what if he doesn't win? But, it's a proud moment for us for sure.
And tell us about him.
So my dad's been fishing for over 35 years.
And what involvement does he have in the community?
So he is a member of Blue Water Fishermen Association. He is a member of the community of Riversdale as well.
You were the one who nominated him, right? What inspired you to nominate him,
Well, winning the amount of time that he's been fishing for over 35 years, I mean, he has a whole, lots of knowledge from the sea. So I feel that from all his time that he has put towards in the marine, I think he deserves this award.
Several organizations and fishing associations collaborated this year to observe a Fisher Folk Month and to honor the industry as well as the fishers. However, the relationship between the 2 sides wasn't always amicable. Desiree Arzu of WCS said that initially many fisher folk viewed NGOs as enemy.
One of the things that the fishers saw with the NGOs, they were somewhat of an imposter until they decided that, let's hear them out. And they found that working with the NGOs, or the NGOs actually, they're looking out for the best interests of the fishers. It's not just about what we want to do, like a lot of people think that, many of us are just singing for Uncle Sam, or we just, want funding or so forth. It's just about really connecting with the fishers and having them as the stewards and having them lead us into what it is that they want to do, because it's their livelihood, it's their future, it's not for us.
Carlos Arevalo, who was the Fisher of the Year in 2024, said that the majority of fisher folk were not educated on sustainability and the work of the NGOs. He said now the various fishing associations work along with the NGOs.
Yes, the thing is that we didn't have like that very healthy information about what is an NGO. Like I would say this, the fishing community began because many of the people didn't have the opportunity to go to high school. So we didn't have that, like, what is an NGO? We already thought they want to do reserve and take fishermen from the water. But when through the future we are seeing a lot of things happening, and we want to know what is happening, and so we got the NGO bringing information. This is climate change, population of fishermen. So we try to figure out a way how to work, and who are the best people to work with, if not the NGO who have the capacity. We are like scientists from the water, but they also have a knowledge in science how to help us. We can bring that information to them, and they figuring how to help us to adapt or to try to minimize the impact of the situation happening out there. Now with the NGOs helping us with our livelihood, educating the fisherman. The fisherman got the knowledge that, oh, this guy don't want to only close the resort. They have a motive why they're doing certain things, and maybe we can contribute for our livelihood. So this fishing industry not end at the end.
As Fisher Folk Month comes to a close, the final official event on the calendar is the Blessing of the Boats, which will take place on Friday at the Courthouse Wharf in Belize City. Communications coordinator at the Wildlife Conservation Society, Desiree Arzu, said that it's something the fishers look forward to.
Our final activity will be tomorrow when we'll have the blessing of the boats. So we'll have the Fisheries Department leading that, spearheading that at the Courthouse Wharf, where most of the fishers will be getting ready to go out to sea for the opening of the lobster season on the 1st of July. This is when they get their ice, they get their provisions, they make sure that their boat is in shape, and they get ready to go out to sea. So this is an opportune time where we get the father from the Catholic Church to go out and give them that blessing, and they ask for it. They want to be blessed. They want to have a bountiful season. So he goes up the river. We start off at the National Fishermen Cooperative, go down the river, and then go to the Northern Fishermen Cooperative, give the blessing, and then we call it a day.
And in police news, police have arrested and charged 24-year-old Rebecca Marlene Daniels of Kings Park, Belize City, for the offense of possession of controlled drugs with the intent to supply. This was in connection with a search of her residence, which was conducted following the issuance of a search warrant. A team of police officers from Belize City's Precinct 1 and 2 discovered a total of 30 parcels of suspected cannabis, which had a combined weight of 70.5 pounds. The suspected cannabis came in the 3 different varieties: sour diesel, mango kush, and green crack. According to police, the street value of the found items is upwards of $100,000. And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.